Many people on the political right seem to believe in an all-encompassing narrative. They will desperately force any event into their narrative. They will shamelessly cram any occurrence into their narrative. There are countless examples of this. A New Zealand Navy ship recently ran aground and sunk in Samoa. Without any evidence at all, countless right-wingers started claiming that this was a result of an incompetent DEI hire. Earlier this year, a respected Green Party MP died. Some right-wingers started claiming it was due to the COVID vaccine, with no evidence whatsoever. Recently, many people have been leaving New Zealand to move to Australia. And some right-wing New Zealanders have been claiming that this is because of co-governance. Once again, this is a very questionable claim with no evidence behind it at all. And seriously, how out of touch can you be? What kind of person moves to a whole different country because Maori have a special seat on the local council? Nobody is weak enough to be driven away by such things, and if they are, good riddance. And there are other examples too. In the USA, Republicans started claiming that recent hurricanes were somehow created by their political opponents. There are countless examples of right-wing idiots trying to force events into their preferred narrative, even when these events very clearly do not fit their narrative. It is very weird. For many on the political right, there is no such thing as a random event. Things do not just happen. Everything is forced into a grand narrative. This is what happens when your entire mental process is consumed by fanatical religiosity and mindless conspiracism. There are no random events, everything is forced into the narrative. And so the narrative becomes more and more incoherent and irrational. I know that there are many people on the right who are not like this. Thank God for that. But there is a significant section of the right that will shamelessly force anything into their desired narrative. Many people on the right have been consumed by a totally irrational means of perceiving the world. Everything is interpreted in line with whatever is most convenient for their political narrative. This reinforces their faith in their political narrative and makes their worldview even more incoherent and irrational. And it means their ideological commitments permeate their entire worldview, making it even harder for them to change their views. They become more and more out of touch with reality. This is a very serious issue. These kinds of deranged ways of viewing the world are politically destabilizing. Democracy is reliant upon a reasonable and rational people. Many on the right are anything but. Many have been consumed by total irrationality. Common sense is nowhere in sight. We should understand events in accordance with rationality. We should not try to force everything into simplistic political narratives. This is childish behaviour. I know that not everyone on the right is guilty of this, but a great many are. And what do we even do about this? When people are this fanatical, changing their views is very difficult. But that is an essential solution, so that is what we must try to do. We also need to ensure that more people are not sucked into this irrational worldview. That means providing an alternative narrative that is rooted in reality. A rational narrative that understands its limitations while providing people with purpose and direction. That is what we have to provide. That is the solution to this hideous problem.